First up is Siangri, and yeah, really great character. Certainly above and beyond expectations for the class. I really like the kind of face. You might want to get some eyeballs in there. Um, and yeah, the shirt's looking good. Belt, everything looks nice. Um, Shoes look good. So this, clearly this isn't matching the proportions of this with the arm length and all. Oh, I guess they're just bent inwards. Maybe those are okay. Oh, I see. So yeah, maybe we'll just need to line those back up again. No, that's not where that goes. Anyways, yeah, you'll want to get that lined up for when you attach it to the skeleton. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is really well built. Again, I'm just going to turn everything but the surfaces off so I can get a good look at them. Yeah, really nice detail on the fingers, and you've got a little inner penetration here with the cuff and that, so I might, scoot the edge of um, this back. One easy way to do that would be to select this edge by double clicking, and I'll do B for soft select, and I'll hold down B and click and drag to. If that works, it's not working. Just reset that. That's working. So I just did it manually there. Anyway, point was, you can scooch this back that way. Another nice trick on the model, if you want to get some thickness to this edge, I'm going to turn off soft select again with B. If I shift right mouse click, extrude edge, and then just switch to that and scale that in a little bit, and then do that again, shift right mouse click, extrude edge, and then click here, and then push that inward. So you kind of create the illusion there that there's some thickness to the edge of the clothing, which is a nice touch if you want to do that. So you could do the same process on the armholes as well, and anywhere else you want some of that thickness. Um, but yeah, this is looking very good. Great job on this. Next up is Reese, and yeah, really nice touch. I think it is funny your idea of having the belly hanging out. That works out well, and I think it's a little bit sort of default, if you will, apart from the belly. I think you might have gone further with shaping some of the other parts of the character to give it a little bit more individuality and uniqueness. So that's where you could improve on this. Maybe if he's kind of fat there, maybe round that out a little bit more, and maybe make some of the other body parts a little fatter too. You could add a an isoparm here and kind of thicken out the legs and stuff like that, just so it's more consistent. But yeah, you got the basics in there, so that's good. All right, next up is Jimmy, and yeah, much like the last one, I would say even more so. This looks like a very much sort of default shape. So what I'd like to see is take this and customize it and make it your own more. Work with that as kind of a base, but then stylize it to make it your own character. You can add some more accessories to it as well. Again, to personalize it. But right now, it's looking sort of like the default stock character, and I'd like to see you kind of expand on that and work with that to make it more individual and unique. Next up is Alina, and yeah, looking good. Liking this vest. Um, Looks like you took the time to add individual buttons, which is a nice touch. It may You may end up with some challenges on getting that to bend properly, but we shall see. I'm trying to just figure out what's going on with the construction of this vest. Looks like it's made out of a lot of different pieces, um, which might make it challenging to move all together well. Um, so I would tend to, let me just, that's on already. Oops. I'm just trying to isolate this from everything else. To better see what's happening. Maybe I'll add a material. I don't know why it's coming out black like that. Oh, great. Okay, let's do that again. Just one way to make sure you're only picking surfaces is to turn all objects off and turn on only surfaces there, and you don't end up picking anything else. Oh, okay, that worked. Alright, that helps me see what's going on a little better. I guess I would have tried to, make this out of one continuous surface. And I don't know that, the way you built it. I can understand why you wanted those top parts to be separate if you're working with NURBS. But, what I would do is start with, if you're going to do NURBS, start with a cylinder. Let me just change this to turn that off. Okay. And let's no caps and the y-axis, good. And then, maybe less than 360 degrees, maybe like 300 degrees, something like that. Create that. Let's turn off the isolate thing because that's making it disappear. So, oops. So then I have that as a starting point, and then we need more spans here, so I'd increase the spans, and then then start shaping this. Probably need more sections too. I think I could have gone closer here, like 340, to get that a little closer, or even, maybe just leaving a small gap like 355 just to have that little gap in the front, something like that. And then let's kind of squash it this way and this way, and then you can start shaping it further. I might select like that, vertice, and oh, do I have symmetry on or something? Oh, I do have symmetry on the z-axis. Shouldn't that be x? Anyways, I can hit B for soft select, and that'll help kind of bend these down. I can hold down B and click and drag and increase that area, and then sort of move that. Oh, I didn't quite get the right things there. Let's scale this in this way. Maybe move this up a little bit more. Okay, let me just isolate that for a moment. Oh yeah, my mirroring is not working. Anyway, so the soft select, let's move that, get that a little bit smaller, and then move those down we kind of get those shapes there. Um, and then just continue sculpting. I mean, I'm not going to sculpt this whole thing, as that would be too time consuming for this demonstration, but you get the idea, and I think, you start out with a much more, let's just select all of these through there. I'll turn off soft select and kind of scale that in. Anyway, continue to work with that until you get a shape that you like, and I think you'll have a lot less surfaces than um, all of this, and you'll have to pull these guys down, I guess. I'll use soft select again to get. Oops, I didn't mean to have that one selected in the back. Just using control select to deselect those. Anyways, it's you got to keep going, but it's starting to kind of match what you're doing here if you see that. But yeah, instead of having multiple services to get there, I just I just have the one, and I think that's going to be a lot easier to work with. And then you can use those or build those separately. Next up is Marcus, and yeah, this is really good. You've really got some personality and character into this. I'm liking the beard and mustache, and the way you've constructed that works very well. The feet look really nice too. It looks like you put some time and effort into that, and I kind of like the idea of a barefoot guy. I don't know. I think that's funny. Um, yeah, so I guess I don't have too much to say about this. It turned out quite well. Um, Yeah, using a trim surface for that vest. Okay, should be all right. Yeah, you should got some thickness there with the arms, and I don't know that there's that much I would say on this one. I think it turned out really well. You mentioned something about surfaces turning black in your post. Some surfaces turn black when I open the file. As soon as I activate the tool, the color comes back. The normals seem okay. Yeah, that's a weird one. I think, the things I check, like you already mentioned the normals. Another thing I check is lighting and turn on two-sided lighting. Um, and then the other kind of typical thing I do is to throw out the preferences folder, which is something I recommend, everybody learn how to do. I'm in my documents Maya folder, and you see all the different versions of Maya, but under 2015, there's you can see I've done this a couple times before. There's prefs and prefs old, and so if you just change this to like prefs underscore old, I'm not going to do it now. Then the next time you launch Maya, you quit Maya and you launch it again, it'll make a new prefs folder. And so when you have weird problems like that, that's kind of a good thing to do because it puts all the preferences to the factory defaults, and then sometimes weird problems like that go away. And someone mentioned that making the belly bigger and rounder, which I thought was a good idea, especially kind of from the front view. I think you can go bigger. But yeah, nice work. Next up is Cody, and yeah, it looks like you got all the basics working, which is good. I think from here, I would suggest you look towards adding some personality and individuality. If you've watched some of the other ones, there's some really unique characters, but this one looks very sort of default. So uh, look at how you can kind of customize it, go back to your original designs, and try to make it a more unique individual. But yeah, you got all the basics right, but let's see how you can take it and do something more creative with it. Next up is Ashley, and yeah, the character's got a good look with the looks skinny. Whoops. Okay, we're back up after Maya crashed on me. You said here that the right arm is completely black. It's not showing up black for me, so I'm not sure, but it does look like, if we look at what this one have, I'm just going to right mouse click here, do two panes side by side, and then put the hyper shade in here. And I'll hit this button right here to see what material's on that, so I can right mouse click assign material to selected to get that color back on there, and we can just going to just click this open and turn all objects off and turn on only surfaces so I don't actually select the skeleton, and then we can assign that. And then the hand is using probably that skin material, but I'll just click this to see what it is. Yes, it is. And then I'll select all those hand pieces and assign those. So assign the right materials, maybe that will solve it. The other things to check when something shows up black, although I don't think it's this situation here, is you can reverse the normal. So if it's a NURBS surface, you go to surfaces and edit NURBS, and then where's reverse surface direction, right? Or if you just go to lighting, two-sided lighting, that often solves it as well, so you can see both sides of the surface. You don't have a black side. So yeah, that's for those issues. I like some of the details, like the star on the hat is nice touch, and the other stars and the buttons and the spurs and the star on the boot. So those are all good things. Your technique for coloring these is not necessarily one I would advise, by slicing everything up to adjust the colors. I think you'd be better mapping a color on those. So, I mean, this would be an easy one if, let me just show you, I'll show you on a separate surface how you might do a stripe like that if you're using NURBS. So if I have a cylinder like that, ugh, didn't really want one with the caps on it. But and you want that stripe down the middle. So what I would do is right mouse click, assign new material, Lambert, and then go to the color and map a ramp to that, which is like a sort of like a gradient. And let's see what it looks like so far. Oh yeah, let's. Why is that not showing up? Thought I. Oh, it is. It's just hard to see what's going on. So let me just get this one up here too. What is that? That's not that one. Which one is that? Vest. Alright, and when I can get, if you want that color, if you click on it, you'll see it puts it in the most recent swatch. So now I can go back to this guy, just show that whole thing, and then I'll click here and choose my selected color, and I got that right in the memory there. So that's that vest color, and I'll just put that here as well for the moment. And then I'll go ahead and add a couple more of these and change those to white. And if you want a hard line, you can change this to none, and I'll just give you actually we don't need this one if we do it that way. And see what you end up with is that sort of stripe in the middle like you've got going on with the character there. So just to give you an idea of how you might do a stripe like that without slicing everything up. Um, Something like this would be a little bit more complicated, um, but for that, what I would probably do is in this particular case is I would do a projection from the side, like map a file and project from the side. If you're interested in that, let me know. I can demonstrate that as well. But this, this will get you some of the way there. Okay, this is Amelia, and you got some of the basics going. I think you could take this a little further. Maybe kind of add a little bit more width and detail to the feed, and maybe go through that full boot tutorial. Um, get these kind of areas filled in, and with the fingers, make sure these are, if you're going to do it this way, I would just use that hand that you can import instead, because this hand's going to be difficult to use, I think, as the way you're building it. So I might scrap that one, and use the hand that you can import with the, I think it comes with a pill man or something. So, yeah, I guess I would say, it's a good start, but I would keep going, get a better boot going on there, fill in some of these gaps and use, import the hands, maybe get a hat and some other accessories going as well. So I think, it'd be good to see you a little further on there, and you might want to, start with the Pillman file or something like that if you didn't already.